All right, so after getting a text on a Friday afternoon from a customer who could have asked all these questions while I was at their house the previous day, I'm going to go ahead and just make a video now because there wasn't one worth sending to them. The big question is, what size generator do I get? And this is what I tell every customer. The only real consideration when sizing a generator, the only real consideration that matters is whether or not you want to have sex when the power goes out. Yes, that's right. Are you going to get some when the neighborhood is dark? And that is entirely dependent on your woman's comfort level. So, understand that if you cheap out and you buy some little rinky-dink generator that won't run your central air, you ain't getting none, because no woman who is hot and sticky wants to get funky. Got it? Right? You know this. Okay? The next consideration is hot water, because most of these power outages happen in the summer, not the winter, the summer, with all the partying, the excessive load on the power grid, you know, drunk drivers running into cars and or running into telephone poles and power poles. I mean, it just wreaks havoc. And then the thunderstorms. This happened to us last year or 2 years ago. Thunderstorm takes out a tree in your neighborhood, knocks the whole neighborhood out. And it happens on a Friday, and you're not getting a crew out there until Monday. So you're stuck all weekend without power. So it all comes down to watts, right? Generators are measured in watts. All right. So, for example, your water heater is 4,500 watts at 240. Your home air conditioning unit, now, if it's a window unit, which you should, I recommend, I like window units because you can isolate rooms. There will be a data plate on the side. It'll tell you how many amps. Well, amps times volts is watts. So if it's 7 amps and it's 120 volts, do the math, right? You got yourself, you know, your 840 watts. Okay. Your coffee pot is 5 or 6 amps. Do the math on that. Your microwave is 12 or 13 amps, sometimes less. But you have to ask yourself what you're willing to run. I'm going to tell you, the air conditioning is the most important thing. Now, if you have city water, that's really not that big a consideration. But if you have a well, it is. Because you're going to want to be able to flush the toilet. That's very important to your woman, to flush the toilet. Right along with the water heater. Now, you may not be able to run the water heater at the same time you're running everything else, but you have a circuit breaker for that. So you can make a tank of hot water, use a little bit of electrical discipline, right? Don't go trying to run other stuff. You'll hear your generator. It'll labor for a little while making hot water, and then all of a sudden it'll run nice and easy and smooth. Okay, your hot water's done. Shut the breaker off on the water heater and go take a shower. You know, heat varies. If it's gas, doesn't use a lot of power. If it's oil, that's 5 or 6 amps to run the burner. If your hot water is attached to your oil furnace, or your gas furnace, well, hey, then you're kind of golden. So these are things you need to know about your home, because a man should know these things about his home. And if a man doesn't know these things about his home, he probably shouldn't be getting sex anyway. What makes you a man? You know? So, you know, women still respond to, like, whether or not their men are good in a pinch. Well, be good in a pinch. When all the other neighbors are sitting in the dark bitching that they're in the dark and your wife's not in the dark, now's the time to use it to your advantage. Come out the hero, the happy hero. Okay? So, and and then there's the electric car. I'll tell you right now, standard home car charger is 50 amps. You're going to be buying a 10,000 watt generator minimum. But what the hell are you owning an electric car for anyway, dumbass? You know? So, there you go. If you really want to know how to size a generator, think sex. If sex doesn't matter to you, who cares? That's all you really need to know about sizing a generator. Got it? Good. Now there will finally be a useful YouTube video on how to size a generator. Have a great day.